Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome back to the COE1v1 tournament. We have got another sick match coming up of the 1v1 tournament. It is Melvr facing up against FlyingTuna in the round of 16 to advance into the semi-finals. You hear a lot of crowd here, very excited crowd.
Yeah, I would say the crowd has been bringing all of its energy, especially in recent times as the tournament starts. It's match 5, yet the crowd is still going so strong. It's been really exciting to watch every single match, and I'm sure there's a lot of amazing matches later on in this tournament as it progresses.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with that, man. I mean, these last matches have been absolutely unreal. We recently saw Zubs just barely miss out on a victory against Nineric after an insane victory on that Nomad 1. Truly incredible. But we're moving on to this match now. FlyingTuna and Melvr. Both are very, very well-known tournament players. Both very good for their own respective nations. And yeah, I couldn't be more excited to see how this moves out. This is a little bit of a big seed disparagement. Seed number 3 from FlyingTuna against seed number 14 on Melvr. There's a little bit of a disparagement there, so we could see a potential seeding upset. FlyingTuna is kind of statistics-wise seen on the upper hand here, and he is going to be probably one of the potential favorites to take this match out.
Yeah, but just because there's a seed disparity does not mean you can count Melvr out in any way. He made it here. He worked hard to get to this stage, and there's a reason why they play all the matches. We will truly never know until see what happens right in front of our very eyes, and that, to me, that's just the most beautiful thing about any competition.
Absolutely, man, especially in LAN, in person.
Yes.
That's the coolest part about this entire thing. We've got a wonderful crowd in front of us rooting for their favorite players. It's absolutely lovely. And with that, why don't we get into the coin flip, shall we? I've got a lovely little €1 coin here, which will decide who picks and bans first. So I asked FlyingTuna earlier if he wanted to go tails or heads, and he said tails. So heads for Melvr, tails for FlyingTuna. I'm going to flip the coin, I'm going to let it land on the floor, and what it lands on will be what decides it. So, and it is heads. So Melvr will be the one to decide. Picks and bans order first. We're just going to be waiting for that to be followed through by production. But until then, man, let's talk about this matchup. FlyingTuna, recently coming back from a long alliance. I'll just repeat that. Heads was the coin that landed, so it is Melvr who will be winning the roll. And yeah, look at this matchup here. FlyingTuna and Melvr. FlyingTuna coming back not too long ago from military service. Well-welcomed reunion. Can't be happy to see him back. He was one of the most exciting players to watch in the tournament scene, and very particularly unbelievably good in most notably tech, mechanics, and aim control.
Yes, very much so. South Korea, he elevated them basically single-handedly to a whole new level, especially post-2019. Second place in 2019, third in 2021. Just straight up there, by far their ultimate tournament carry. And seeing him return in 2023, now South Korea has an amazing trio in FlyingTuna, Karcher, and worst HR player. I feel like that's going to be exciting to watch come this OWC season.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, FlyingTuna was kind of the superstar South Korean player, and then once he headed off to military service, as every South Korean does eventually, he left behind him some phenomenal players to help him out, and that's going to be South Korea, very familiar also this year. But with FlyingTuna, let's move on to Melvr. A little bit more of an underdog in this match, having qualified on the 14th spot, but having most notably some really formidable scores in Nomad, in Tech, and in Hidden especially. I think that's going to be one of the big threatening skill sets that could be a danger to FlyingTuna in this match.
Yeah, I would expect to see FlyingTuna to ban at least one of the HD pool, but that still leaves one hidden pick at Melvr's disposal because he cannot double ban the mods.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that's one thought, right? Which hidden are you going to let Melvr get away with? Because he got a pretty particularly good score on the hidden 2, and the hidden 1, I mean, granted, that's going to bounce up a little bit of comfort in it, and having that around is going to be really threatening for FlyingTuna. Granted, FlyingTuna is very good on the tech, so maybe that hidden 1 is going to be more left open. We may see the hidden 2 bans, so that FlyingTuna can maybe benefit off that high mech tech level. So that's very, very possible. But look at the map pool here. There are lots of maps here that are both player-sided. I mean, of course, FlyingTuna being the kind of favorite here, you see a lot of maps that can really benefit him, most particularly, of course, being the Nomad 4, being the Nomad 1, being the DTs in general. Maybe not the DT2, not too familiar in the specific speed stamina department, but in any other way, high fast aim mechanics, aim control generally, really up his alley. We could easily see a GT3. We could see a Hard Rock 2, sorry. A little bit more precision, but still, aim control is a big requirement there, so we could see him play on that. I think Tuna's definitely the flexible option here compared to Melvr, but Melvr does still have some good maps.
Yes, he does. I feel like it would be really interesting if this match would come down to the wire. If both players are tied at 2-2, for instance, as the map pool shrinks, more picks are taken, you will start to see that like some maps on this pool are really, really close for both of these players with the amount of talent they're packing. And I'm pretty sure all of us would love to see a really close match just in general.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, one thing that's really special about this pool is how kind of specific some of the maps are for skill sets, right? So some players who have opposing skill sets will really lean towards certain maps, and that will lead to a very quick back and forth for the first few maps, and then after that, that's where it gets spicy.
Yeah, just like... Yeah, as like every especially with like first to four matches, like normally as like in like best of sevens, we're all familiar with first to seven matches. You would think that like the first few picks are like insanely decisive. You pick your strengths and you take like your first two maps. But in a first to four, those strength picks become like essentially like way more important because you only like if you pick one map on your own that is akin to your strength and you win that easily, you're only 3 maps away. Of course, there's a smaller map pool, but in terms of like getting your head in the game, that's just like taking that first pick really holds a lot of mental significance.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I just want to let production know we can hear noises from the stage being projected into the headphones, not as in like background noise. I believe we're only supposed to hear gameplay and ourselves. I just thought I'd clarify that just to make sure there aren't any issues around with the mixers or anything like that. Because at the moment I can also hear like a microphone coming in from the crowd as well, which I don't believe is ours. So I just thought I'd make sure that's all correct and done and good. Because when we hear our beautiful, lively crowd here, I can also hear them, and they are very direct in my ear. Granted, it is beautiful. Can't go wrong with that. But I just thought I'd make sure, just in case there are any issues at all, just to make sure that's qualified. But yeah, carrying on with the match. Yeah, I mean, you said it straight, right? I mean, some of these maps you can see are very sided between one specific player. I mean, that hidden 2 especially, I could see Melvr really abusing that as long as it's protected. I mean, Melvr could have something up his sleeve as well. He's also got some really good scores, specifically in aim, particularly. Nomad 1 could be a potential map. Granted, though, I don't know if you want to completely lean into that fully against someone like FlyingTuna. So there are a lot of what-ifs here, and there are a lot of maybes, maybe nots in this pool. For Melvr. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to whip up and what he's going to protect and ban, because that will definitely tell us a story about his strategy going into this match.
Yes. So heading into the match procedure, both players get 1 protect, 2 bans. You cannot double ban on a single modification. Your 2 bans must be on different mod pools.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly right. So one player is going to get that protect, which means that cannot be banned, that cannot be touched, only picked. So the thoughts here, I'm probably going to guess we might see the Nomad 4 being protected by FlyingTuna, and my guess is that probably the hidden 2 for Melvr. But honestly, I can't say for sure about Melvr because all right. So we have gotten our bans here. So it is actually going to be a little bit of a switcheroo here. The protection of Nomad 2 from FlyingTuna and Nomad 4 from Melvr. A bit of a unique protection because I was really expecting it to be the other way around.
I like that personally. If you're sitting in Melvr's shoes, you're guaranteed to have 1 hidden map left on the pool, even if FlyingTuna just choose to ban 1.
Yeah. I apologize. I actually get it the wrong way around. It is Melvr to have protected Nomad 2, so actually a little bit more expected. Apologies.
Yes.
I thought it was the other way around.
So Melvr banning DT1.
Yeah, that's a very understandable first pick.
Yeah.
I mean, straight up. Yeah, just to repeat that, just in case people misheard, it is actually the other way around. Nomad 4 was protected by FlyingTuna, and Nomad 2 protected by Melvr. And going on to the bans here, double time. Oh, what? I'm getting misheard.
You mixed yourself up twice.
Yeah, I've mixed up twice. Sorry, I'm getting production tell me it's the other way around again. So it is Nomad 2 protected by FlyingTuna, and Nomad 4 protected by Melvr. Is that right, production? Is that correct? Oh, right, I see. Okay.
Okay,
cool.
just think of it like this. Tuna 2, Nomad 2.
Yeah, okay, I got you. I got it, sorted. Okay, there was a little bit of confusion with production, but we got it set, so that's all good. Yeah, first ban. double time 1 for Melvr. Again, no surprise at all.
No surprise,
FlyingTuna, very, very powerful on these double time aim maps. High BPM jumps, high BPM bursts. That's something that's going to be very mechanics favored and something that's going to be definitely up FlyingTuna's alley. So yeah, safe for Melvr to completely avoid that.
Yeah, I would think that Tuna is going to ban one of the hidden picks.
Yeah.
Considering how Melvr is strong on hidden specifically.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think getting rid of that hidden 2 for FlyingTuna is probably going to be a very valuable option here. And second bans as well. What do you think the second ban could be here for Melvr?
Let's see.
Because we can't get the double ban, so we're not going to be able to see DT3 or DT2 banned.
Yes.
Maybe it could be the No Mod 1.
It could be No Mod 1.
Yeah, I'm thinking No Mod 1 or maybe Hard Rock 1. Probably. Or maybe No Mod 3. Very aim control heavy and something that FlyingTuna is very, very good on. So, yeah, again, Melvr's got quite a few options to go for bans here. Okay. Okay. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. We're having a very big confusion with picks and bans at the moment. We're going to completely restart because one of the players made a mistake and decided to pick their protects, which were actually meant to be bans. So we are going to completely reset the draft, and we're going to get that sorted as soon as possible. We're just going to completely reset and completely get our protects back again, just to clear up any confusion or any issues. Because apparently protects were meant to be, according to one player, they thought that the protects were bans. Yes, so we're completely sorting that out now. Sorry guys, we'll get that sorted as soon as possible. We're just waiting for the things to go through.
So Tuna with the protect of No Mod 5 and Melvr protected No Mod 2.
There we go. So it's actually Tuna protecting the reading, which is very surprising.
Yeah, I would like Tuna with like, I would say like I really associate him with playing like super tech heavy and sometimes super reading heavy maps, though that's like his forte. Like obviously he's akin to basically all skill sets of the entire game, but if we had to do like one thing, that's how he gets his clip farms, that's how he hits it, that's what he's known for.
Okay, and do you think that hidden 2 leans into that as well, or do you think that's a bit of a different situation?
I feel like Tuna is really still pretty good at hidden 2. It's just that do you want to leave No Mod 2 on the table? I mean, sorry, hidden 2 on the table against Melvr, which apparently he is with the hidden 1 ban over No Mod 2, and he also banned DT2, with Melvr banning DT1 with 1 ban awaiting.
Yeah, having that DT2 ban doesn't surprise me at all. DT2 is a bit unique to the other DT maps that we have around. This one is extremely strictly stamina intensive. 235 BPM streams just consistently dashing at you. So yeah, we are getting a complete draft of the bans now. So it is going to be Hard Rock 1 as well banned for FlyingTuna. Not too big of a surprise. Melvr being quite good on Hard Rock aim, so that's okay. Fair ban. Hidden 1 definitely surprises me a little bit for Melvr. I think maybe just wanting to get rid of that raw tech skill, but granted it is also hidden, so the comfort can maybe lean into it, but I just think he wants to avoid the mech tech. And considering that he banned that No Mod 5, maybe reading-based things could be more his forte, so that could be the case. We got our bans confirmed, so now we're thinking about picks. What do you think is going to be potential picks here for both players?
So it would be Tuna to pick first.
Yeah.
Correct.
It would be.
So No Mod 3 as expected.
Oh, no, it's Melvr's first pick, actually.
Oh, Melvr's first pick. Melvr's picking into No Mod 3.
Ooh.
We're starting the match out, we already get a banger of a song.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first pick being Kokosoko, bang a song, bang a map, and an exciting matchup for sure. I mean, both these guys known for being pretty good on their aim control and pretty good on their ult, and this is going to be a very exciting one. And a bold first pick, I'd say, for Melvr. I'd more expect maybe to play chicken with this one. But it will be, nonetheless, the No Mod 3. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're kicking off our match between Melvr and FlyingTuna with this No Mod 3 on Kokosoko. And yeah, I'm super excited for this, man. I think we've already seen like a extremely early break from Melvr, but something that's so tiny, it's nothing really serious to take note of, unless they both FC, which I doubt, considering how real this map is. But yeah, this map, super flow aim heavy, super dangerous, and with that, we've already seen an early miss there from FlyingTuna, giving Melvr that early combo advantage.
I will say, throughout this entire match, I would say pay attention to the accuracies, because they can easily swing at any point in this map, especially with the chain miss potential. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure everyone would like to see like both of these players hit these insane patterns. Yeah. This match is just chaotic in general. Truly anything can happen, especially with like insane patterns.
Yeah, for sure. And we're seeing a couple multiple misses from both players here, leading to a still very even playing field here. It is Melvr with the small advantage, but really not by much, only by about 4,000 odds. But both players are trading multiple breaks after that key eye. But after that miss from Melvr, FlyingTuna holding on to that major combo going into the next verse. This could be a little bit of free combo to gain, but really not much. This map still remains consistent with a few weird aim control patterns. Going into this, as you can see, we're already going into that next key eye, and FlyingTuna still holding strong so far. Melvr managing to regain a little bit of combo, but we're building up to that next major key eye, which could be a huge diff spike, which could lead to a lot of major breaks. Here we go. Finally, second key eye coming through. We're not seeing any breaks just yet, but a chain miss from Melvr. Down he goes. That's his combo gone. And FlyingTuna is still holding on to this, and he hits all of it. Beautiful stuff for FlyingTuna, holding strong despite missing just after that key eye. The combo advantage he's got is enough for now.
Yes, approximately a 40,000 score lead. That is going to sit as both of these players' combos are roughly even. FlyingTuna with the accuracy advantage, giving him that score lead. He's, as this map continues, we're entering a little bit of a free combo section. Tuna can easily just build his combo back up to match that of Melvr's. Melvr ahead by around 80 or 50 or so combo.
It's really minor. It's so small, the combo difference here for Melvr. It's very slowly entering in, but really not by much. It's only about 40,000 difference. And we're going into that major final key eye where the diff spikes really starts to increase and the spacing starts gaining massively. Melvr does drop, a FlyingTuna holds. Another chain miss though. Unfortunately for Melvr, that miss from Tuna isn't going to be enough for him to potentially come back. And I think we got a little bit more room left for a potential pushback, but it's really not going to be much for Melvr. I'm pretty sure we're into the second to last key eye, or is there one more key eye coming up? I completely forgot. We don't have a progress bar on the map, so I can't say I know for sure. But it's not looking good for Melvr so far. FlyingTuna is just completely dominating generally throughout the consistency and having general really strong combo difference and a good accuracy as well. And that is it.
That is the map.
Number 3 is done. And FlyingTuna already kicking this off with a beautiful breakpoint.
Yeah, early breakpoint. 1-0 lead to FlyingTuna on his own pick. Can extend that to 2-0 to really take the momentum of this match. Just delivering a statement right here, right now. You know he wants this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that immediate breakpoint on that number 3, beautiful. You know that's one of Melvr's strengths, and you know you can win against it. So that's already a brilliant start for FlyingTuna. He can now lean into a more mechanics-heavy pick, and maybe lean into that Hard Rock 4 or that Nomod 2, depending on what he wants to go for. He's also got Nomod 5 that he protected. I mean, Nomod 2 was a protect for Melvr, but still, Nomod 4, Nomod 5, 2 very valuable options that he can go for here. Could also go for the double time 3, crazy motorcycle chase, very aim control heavy. A little bit more on the reading side, but as he said, he did protect that number 5, so the reading doesn't seem to be too big of an issue for him. He could lean into those, and for now, we're just waiting for that pick from FlyingTuna.
And sitting on a breakpoint advantage as well. That just really opens up the map pool.
Yeah, I mean, losing a breakpoint in a best of 7 is really unforgiving and really brutal. And so these early stages in these tournaments are really unforgiving. You really can't get away with losing a breakpoint. You have to make sure every map that you play is a surefire chance at victory. And unfortunately for Melvr, that's not been the case for his first map. And his second map for FlyingTuna is going to be Saigetsu, Nomod 5. Yes. Extremely weird, gimmick, unique aim, reading stuff, and the map that he protected. So safe to say, this one is super comfy for Tuna.
Yeah, he is looking to take that 2-map lead, secure that breakpoint advantage, force Melvr against the wall, and just honestly force him to make moves.
Go on. Oh, yeah, okay. But yeah, here we go. We're going into this number 5, and we already once again see the custom video at the back and the custom skin in for this map. You can already see it, lots of AR tested. This is AR 7.4 and CS 4.5 as well. A little bit of extra aim required here with that smaller CS, but really not too much. That AR 7.4 though is really the thing to keep an eye on. And on top of that, that time of 4 minutes. 4 minutes of this brutal reading test that can really get you off your game if you're not ready for it, you're not practicing, you're not tenacious enough to keep on going with this. because looking at the early stages so far, it's not looking too good for Melvr. 15,000, 85% accuracy, whereas FlyingTuna still looking really, really good with his current holding FC, hitting those full slider break jumps there, but unfortunately he does drop just after I open my mouth about it. His accuracy as well, looking very, very comfortable, 97.3 in climbing. So far going into this Ki, finishing it off really, Tuna's looking extremely dominant. I mean, unfortunately for Melvr, that doesn't seem to be his map.
Yeah, immediately as this map started, FlyingTuna got off to an accuracy advantage of more than 15%, and it's just been staying like that the entire map.
So going into this little slowdown section here, more free combo to build here for FlyingTuna. Melvr does have a little bit of room to maybe get something on the board, but unfortunately for Melvr right now, Tuna does have a huge combo lead in this slow section, so it's just not going to help him in the long run, really.
Yeah, a huge combo advantage, huge accuracy advantage. It's just really hard to make anything, like, manifest anything from this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's not much you can really do if your opponent is consistently doing better, no matter what. There's no major blunder, there's no major fall off, there's no huge act drop or choke or anything like that. Tuna is just looking very stable, very comfortable, and very ready on this map, holding up to about 400 combo. Melvr unfortunately loses that big combo that he was building up from that slow section, so another reset, struggling on 33,000. Tuna is soaring ahead with this really dominant lead.
I mean, is there anything less you can expect from FlyingTuna?
Yeah, what really can you do in this situation?
There's a reason why he's one of the best tournament players, not just right now, but also of all time.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear that he's prepared for this. He's looking so comfortable and so ready for these patterns, and looking just comfortable in this AR 7.4 reading. I mean, not many people can do that.
No. He is one of those select few, and adding that to his already well-rounded skill set is just insane.
Yeah, absolutely. And he may drop on those really, I've got to be honest, kind of unfair side screens there. He does drop, but does it really matter? His lead is so extremely ahead, getting nearly 300,000 score in his favor, building up into this final late stage section. I don't think there's much room for him to come back. FlyingTuna will almost for sure take this number 5.
I think like the length of this map just really like exemplifies just the difference. Just like, sure, like Melvr can take this loss, and like this is a Tuna tick to and through. Like this is just FlyingTuna all the way, but like you have to deal with like 4 minutes of just Tuna just making a statement. You have to deal with like Tuna just completely, like frankly, just completely destroying this map. This is like one of the best scores we've seen on this map at all.
Yeah, absolutely. 400,000 score for FlyingTuna. And with this really dominant performance, unfortunately Melvr, not his map, not his style, no problem, go next. He's got a few maps to pick later on, and he's got a chance to maybe get a point on the board. But with that, FlyingTuna, beautiful dominant performance, getting a second point on the board on this number 5. Smart victory from him. Good job.
Yeah, that is 2-0 to Tuna. But remember, Melvr still does have his protected pick on Nomad 2. He might consider to pick that right now to get a point on the board. Just stop the momentum for now. Just get something out there. Just
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, you're right, bro. You're right. Absolutely right. Melvr does have the protected pick of the number 2. Maybe he's a little bit in a desperate situation right now because if he does not lean into that major guaranteed strength, there is a good chance that FlyingTuna's next map will be what seals it. You know, you don't really want to go out on a 4-0 and being half of the way there already, along with the breakpoint advantage. I mean, that's a tough situation, and having to deal with this 4-minute long number 5, knowing that you're not gonna win it, is just tough on the mental as well. You know, we gotta give some hope for Melvr here, ladies and gentlemen, because his next pick, my prediction has to be the number 2. He's got to go for the number 2.
You can't go down 2 breakpoints right now.
Yeah.
If he like, he needs to win his next pick, otherwise he'd be down 3 up.
Absolutely.
Yes, and there we go. There's the
number
number 2.
has been picked up for Melvr. Back against the wall, he's got to go into this. He's got to get this victory. This number 2 is very stamina heavy, but also very flow aim heavy. 215 BPM of relentless flow aim streams of slider jumps and a lot of aim requirement.
Yes, very much so. I feel like this Nomad 2, this is perfect for Melvr to get himself back into this match.
Right, though, let's make this clear. FlyingTuna is no slouch on these maps. I mean, it may not be one of his super major core strengths that he's famous for, but it's not to say that he's weak on this at all. I mean, FlyingTuna is not only really good on tech, but it's a big jack of all trades. So despite this being very clearly a Melvr advantage map, something that he's going to really benefit from, FlyingTuna is still a looming threat over this map. I mean, so Melvr is going to have to stay consistent and stay comfy on this and not make any major slip-ups. Otherwise, Tuna is going to really snap back at that and take advantage.
I mean, that's the thing with like picking into any just well-rounded tournament player. Like anything you pick, they're also good at. But Tuna does find an early miss on that stream to give Melvr the early advantage for now.
Yeah, early advantage here for Melvr in terms of combo building into this next KI. He does have to see the full intro section, but the hard part is yet to come. FlyingTuna's got a little bit of recovery of about 140 combo and climbing. Only a 20,000 score difference, but this next KI could really change things. The flow rate rapidly increases in spacing as well, with a little bit of twists and turns, along with those slider jumps. So we could see a little bit of a drop if people aren't ready. And there's FlyingTuna, he does drop. Can Melvr hold on to the rest of this KI? Because this could be a huge opportunity to extend his lead further and further. No hold for Melvr.
I think if he does find that chain miss on that stream, which is unfortunate, but the early combo advantage will give him a decent-sized lead. And as both players, as Tuna finds even more accuracy drops, that will really favor Melvr in this.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems that FlyingTuna is struggling just a little bit to hold on to the very end of the streams, having multiple misses just after hitting those major stream sections. But unfortunately for Melvr, he does go down, and Tuna finally, for the first time in a little while in this map, does have a combo advantage to capitalize off of. Accuracy is still in his favor of Melvr, but as long as both players hold in this next KI, Tuna could be in a really advantageous spot. But we are going to the next KI. There's always chances for either both players to miss or one to hold, and both players do trade. FlyingTuna may go down, but Melvr does join him with that. So far, it is looking good for Melvr. As long as both players don't chain miss too drastically, as long as it's not too one-sided in terms of the miscount, Melvr will stay in this lead, having about 58,000 score difference in his favor going into this break. He's got the mental, he sees what's going on, he knows what he has to do. He's just got to hold on a little bit, at least just stay toe-to-toe. He can try to extend his lead further if he has to, but there isn't too much stress as long as he just holds on the same amount as Tuna.
Yeah, if you're a Tuna right now, you can't afford to trade misses like they were on the streams. Both players found massive chain misses, but that favors Melvr with the early score lead that he built up with his massive combo at the start. Got more streams coming in. Both players hold on for now, but Melvr finds a chain miss. He underrated that stream.
This section here particularly extremely stamina heavy. Lots more streams, lots more space patterns as well. So you can expect to see lots of shakes and lots of scary sections along with the major jump section. And FlyingTuna breaks on the final jump. A tragic miss to stop what could have been an incredible comeback. But with that, Melvr secured himself 40,000 score to hold on to into this final KI. The streams get way more spaced, way more difficult, and way more stamina heavy because the KI kind of carries itself on. But a chain miss from Melvr is going to slowly decrease the gap just a little bit. But unfortunately, both players are struggling to hold on to any massive combo going into this final section.
Yes, any trades, any trades of misses combo resets favor Melvr with like I said before, with the lead he's already built up. FlyingTuna finds another chain miss on that stream. Melvr trades it back, but like I said, Melvr can just easily hold on to this lead.
Yeah, with that, as long as Melvr just stays consistent and hits most of his patterns, he's going to be okay. 67,000 score in his favor. As long as we don't see any dramatic, horrendous chain miss, he will be okay. Going into this final little stream jump section, Melvr gets a map on the board.
That's a good recovery from Melvr. We are now at 2-1. Of course, Tuna still with the breakpoint advantage, but there is hope. He is alive. He is very much alive.
And the most important part about this is that even if FlyingTuna does win his next pick, Melvr does still have a chance to get a second point. So it's not too doomed just yet. This map is a really important map for Melvr, and winning this is very huge. It's going to slow down the pace of the game a little bit. It's going to give him more time to recollect himself and maybe gain himself another advantage.
Very true. FlyingTuna on his own pick to potentially take a 3-1 lead. But Melvr still has one pick left in this match.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think he's going to go for here? I was thinking number 4,
yeah,
and there it goes. I mean, this is just textbook for FlyingTuna, a signature, very famous, and very damn good tech player. One of the best tech players in the world, if not ever. This guy is super popular for how great his tech is. And yeah, no surprises here. He is going to go for that no mod 4. And yeah, I mean, what else can you really say? FlyingTuna and Tech. I mean, name a better combo, right?
I think
It's
literally
better than
every
Cookies.
single person has seen him like just hit some insane tech pattern at one point.
Yeah.
At least 10 times.
At least a Twitter clip or a Daily Osu clip. You've seen him hit something stupid, so this isn't surprising at all. Melvr, though, could still be a looming threat into this, so we'll have to wait and see what happens here. There is still a chance, but it's safe to say FlyingTuna definitely is one of those favorites into this particular map. But this tech map particularly is very slider aim heavy. Lots of huge, stupid sliders. So this is definitely, in my opinion, quite a practice diff. Both players hit that big stream there, so no major drops, and they both, I was about to say, they both were about to cleanly hit it, but it is just FlyingTuna to hit that major slider as
They're both a full
Melvr,
combo reset.
yeah, and Melvr as an attempt of cheesing unfortunately drops, but both players do trade breaks. 45,000 score difference here for FlyingTuna, not by too much, still very possible. And let me just mention this, Nunes, this map is very short. Just
Yes, it
under
is.
2 minutes long. So Melvr's going to have to really hope that he can get himself an advantage as soon as he can, hope for FlyingTuna to break, and play well on this next key eye. Because if he can't hold on to an advantage, or if Tuna just stays oppressing over with that slight combo lead, there's nothing Melvr can do.
Yeah, I feel like with the huge accuracy advantage that FlyingTuna has, Melvr hopes that Tuna will break, but... Oh, and there it is!
There's the
I
break
spoke
we're
it into
waiting for.
existence!
Okay, here's the important section now. Very long sliders that could lead to a slider break if Melvr isn't ready for it. He's holding on to about 200 combo, and the lead is slowly shrinking. He's got to hold on to these flowing sections. Big stream comes through, big sliders are hit, but Melvr slider breaks just before he can overtake. FlyingTuna does reset it, but that doesn't matter. It's the accuracy that keeps him going in this favor. 2% difference here for FlyingTuna and Melvr. Despite such a valiant attempt, I don't think he's got enough time. He breaks once again, and FlyingTuna's recovering up to about 200 combo.
Oh my goodness, like, it was right there. The opportunity was
It
right
was.
there.
It really was. It was so close. It was literally just in his reach. But that early, unfortunate break on that slider is going to lead to a loss, but such a close one indeed. FlyingTuna takes the normal 4, and it's at match point.
3-1 in Tuna's favor. But if you're Melvr, you're not out of it just yet.
You cannot help but applaud him for that performance on that number 4.
Yeah, that was
really
very admirable. But as it stands right now, Tuna's at match point, 3-1 advantage. Melvr down to his last pick. He's not out of it yet. If he takes his final pick of the match, he'll force Tuna to win the match on his own pick.
Yeah.
If you're like when you're down, you better have the other person earn it themselves. You better make them work for it.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. And the next pick for Melvr, I mean, what options do you think he's got left? I don't know if he wants to majorly lean into the aim control. I don't know if he wants to lean into the major mechanics. Does he want to lean into the reading? I don't know. Most of these maps here are very much in favor of FlyingTuna. That's the perk of being such a flexible yet so powerful tournament player, is that every single map that you look at is a threat. Now, what can Melvr go for here? Could he go for the hidden 2? Maybe, but FlyingTuna was really formidable on that Nomad 5. Don't know if you want to go for it. I'd honestly think his best option here is probably going to be either the Nomad 1 or maybe the DT3. But DT3 even then is a stretch. That's AR8 with DT.
Yeah, I would expect like either the Nomad 1 or the hidden 2 from Melvr. I mean, there we go. There it is.
Yeah,
Nomad
there
1.
we go. This is the pick for Melvr, and honestly, it's a tough spot for Melvr right now because he's got to play this Nomad 1, which is not only very long, consistent, but very skill cap heavy. And FlyingTuna, I mean, man, skill cap is part of his identity, man. The dude's a beast on so many high skill ceiling stuff. So it's a dangerous map, but still something that Melvr can do well on. We've seen him previously perform well on aim-heavy maps, especially in the qualifiers where he got a very high score on that Nomad 1. So aim consistency, safe to say, is something that he can excel on. But the problem is, his opponent's FlyingTuna. That's the threat here. That's the problem, is that yes, he's very strong, but his opponent is also very strong in this. So this Nomad 1, is going to be very intense and very exciting. I cannot wait for this. We could see a comeback from Melvr, but then, I mean, FlyingTuna's got so many options after that, so it's scary. It's a scary situation, but it's still possible. I have hope. I'm sure our lovely crowd on Melvr side has hope as well. Here we go. It's time for Nomad 1, baby.
All right.
Tengaku, one of the coolest maps in the game, coolest songs, and we've already seen some brilliant games played on this already. So I'm expecting something of similar extremities on this Nomad 1. Here we go. Difficult starting to wrap up now. And no early breaks going into this intro sequence just yet. But this is Melvr's last shot. This is it.
One thing to note, as the map starts and both players building that combo, if both players continue to hold their FCs, it just makes the middle of and toward the end of the match that much more important, because that combo disparity, once someone breaks, will prove to be huge.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, both these players' FC is just going to make the key eyes even more scary, because that's when the major break sections are going to happen. That's where we're going to see huge skill cap level jumps, huge breakable jumps as well. And you can already see this normal one has a pretty distinct kind of aim style where lots of repeated patterns back and forth, very pattern aim heavy. We've already seen multiple times of Tegenko being played where we see specific patterns like the 1-2 left, right and stuff, and loads of other kinds of patterns that we've seen before. I remember Half Slash calling this earlier, ping pong aim, which you can see here. This is the kind of stuff that we'd expect here from Tengaku. But the jumps are in huge spacing, and if you slip up just a little bit, it can lead to a huge disadvantage, especially if your opponent hits that key IFC.
I mean, but for now, both players don't care about whatever patterns are getting thrown. 800 combo across both of these players, two holding FCs. FlyingTuna with the small advantage because of his 99% accuracy to Melvr's 98.5.
Okay,
but
here we go. Melvr drops though. Oh no, Melvr drops just before the key eye. So the major jumps are going to be really valuable. He's going to have to pray for FlyingTuna to break on the key eye.
But he doesn't.
And the first set of jumps he hits, but can he hit the second one? There's another one coming up and down this little quarter section here. This 4-leg section could be an issue, but it's not. Can he hit the next few set of jumps?
Clean.
FlyingTuna does, and he FCs the key eye.
Now Tuna across 1,000 combo, still holding on to his FC, just stretching that score lead in his advantage. We are now sitting at more than 80,000 and climbing.
Yeah, it's a tough hill to climb here for Melvr. That miss on the key eye, and FlyingTuna especially, I've seen it. That's a very fantastic first impression on this map. I mean, he's still got a couple key eyes left to go. And then this map is tiebreaker length, might I add, nowadays. This is 5 minutes long.
We went from the complete opposite direction in terms of length. We went from a 2-minute map to a 5-minute marathon.
Absolutely. I mean, this used to be a tiebreaker for OS World Cup 2017, if any of you remember that. So it's a pretty iconic one and a very long one. Tiebreaker link number 1, not something you see very often. But here we go, we're putting up into a little bit. Melvr does have a little bit of recovery coming. It's FlyingTuna, because he's holding on to the FC. He jumps a little bit back onto that stream, but he still seems to look good. Can he hit these jumps? No, he does not.
One player's
but Melvr, unfortunately, trades it. No combo advantage for the Norwegian player. He cannot hold on, and he can't get himself off a starting point. He can't get an advantage. Tuna is so oppressive on this first half, and even if he drops, the accuracy and the previous combo he's established is just too hard to come back to.
Yes, that full combo reset favors Tuna. As both players are establishing their own combo right now, the lead is just going to sit. It's not going to move at all. Tuna does find a miss, so Melvr does have a chance to bring this back a little bit, but he has to make up 180,000 points.
Yep, this is it. Final key eye section here now. This is where the hardest jumps come through. Are we going to see any players hit a FlyingTuna drops, but Melvr holds? Are we going to see a little impressive, little stylish way to go here? This FlyingTuna's looking very dominant here, but can Melvr maybe get a little bit of a decrease here? He's going to have to hope for a chain miss from FlyingTuna, because so far he's looking so incredibly dire. Into this final little big jump section here. Can Melvr hit the ending? Big inciting part here. Big jumps come through, and Melvr just barely misses it. Such a close call. And despite FlyingTuna hitting it, unfortunately for Melvr, it's not going to be what helps him. And he may hit that final part, but with that, a very valiant effort from Melvr. But unfortunately for him, FlyingTuna has secured the victory on this number 1 and will advance into the next stage.
Yes, 4-1 to FlyingTuna. Can we get a round of applause for these two players?
Great attempts here from Melvr. I mean, being set up against such an incredible player, after coming back from such a someone who's so hungry to get back into the seed, you can't help but admire him. We can't help but just congratulate these guys for even qualifying, let alone, right, being faced up against loads of good players. I mean, Melvr got here for a reason. He's very, very talented, but unfortunately, being put up against someone as good as FlyingTuna this early is a tough start, man.
Yeah, but he made him fight for it.
Absolutely, yeah. And because, unfortunately, this brutal bracket system, unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodbye to Melvr, which sucks, right?
Yeah.
Both these guys perform really well, but we're going to have to see one go this early. It's like Corsair's close. It's like seeing Taquito go down in round of 16. It's like such good players are gone so early.
It's never fun seeing players get eliminated from a tournament.
Never.
But
It really never is.
It's a necessary evil to decide a winner, unfortunately.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, your victor for this match, FlyingTuna, give him a round of applause. And let's give a big round of applause for Melvr as well. Brilliant effort from him. And of course, the GG hug Can never go wrong with that, man. Always love some good sportsmanship. These guys fought hard. And FlyingTuna is the one that prevails, and he will advance into the next round.
Yes, he will be playing versus Nineric in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an exciting matchup.
Yeah,
wow.
I would love to see that.
I mean, a well-rounded tech player, mechanics all-rounder, going up against someone who's so insanely dominant on mechanics and aim. That's exciting. That's a hype matchup I'm looking forward to. But until then, we're going to be moving on to our next match, and we'll be off for a little while. But do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We've got some more banging matches coming up for you very, very soon. But until then, I've been Shiba. Joining me has been Nerdiness. It's been a great time casting with you, bro. It's been awesome.
It's been fun.
But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys soon for the next match.